Nation of Fitin10, it is day 27 of the challenge, and I'm going to get right into more of your feedback here, so let's do that. Muscle memory. Okay, sorry. Under the heading, name something specific you can improve on for the following week. Muscle memory starting to kick in. Need to stop being conservative on the weights for lifts. +5 to current starting weights and progressive up. Not sure what they're saying there. Maybe they mean like they're going to add 5 pounds every time. Okay, so listen, I know a lot of you are doing the online classes, the Zoom classes, but for those of you who are doing the in the gym classes, or you're doing our classes, some people have weights at home, so they actually do our lift camps at home. This is what this person's doing, in fact. You know, whatever rep range we give you, you want to try to max out that rep range, right? So what does that mean? So if we say, you know, we're gonna do 5 sets of 10, you know, by that 5th set, you want to be at a weight that is gonna max out at, you know, 10 reps, right? It's gonna be enough weight that at 10 reps, it's gonna be super, super hard for you to do, right? So just journal it, log, you know, make note of what you're doing, and then, you know, if you're not there yet, then next week, you know, make a note. Say, hey, you know, on deadlifts I did 150 for 10. It was pretty easy. This is just an example. You know, I think I could probably do 160 for 10. Okay, that's what you're going to shoot for, right? So next week you'll just do those incremental sets up till that, you know, whatever it is, 5 or 6 sets that we're doing. By that 5th or 6th set, that last set, you're going to do your that new weight, right? It's really, really important that you take note. For those of you doing the lift camps, either in the gym or at home, make sure you know the weights that you're using. Okay, you'll make better progress this way. You will push yourself more. You have something to work for. This is more goal-oriented. This should be more motivating, okay? For those of you who love motivation, well, look, we all love motivation. I like motivation too. I like to feel motivated myself too. This is one way to do it, right? You have a target to shoot for. This is one reason why we do the scans every couple weeks. Name something specific you need help with for week 4. Post first scan. I think you mean probably post second scan. Can we target a higher protein macro number? So you want me to give you more protein? Yeah, okay, so look, in previous challenges, I've done more protein than I typically do. This is the lowest protein, well, I've done this low. The last couple challenges have been this low. I've done slightly lower protein. Why? Well, to make it easier on you guys. The calories are about the same for you. Well, they are the same. Based on, you know, your age, your sex, your lean body mass, etc. Calories are the same. I lower the protein slightly. This person's asking this. I think they're asking this because they've done the challenge before, and I know the protein was a little bit higher. Listen, you can do more protein if you want, and just reduce your calories. Reduce, you know, if you're going to increase your protein, then we got to reduce the calories from your what I call your energy sources, your fats and your carbohydrates. That's fine. I mean, for most people that just makes it harder, okay? So if you want to do that, you can do that. It's not necessary to do, okay? And by the way, the protein, when I say the protein's lower in this, it's not that much lower. Like we're talking like a couple percent, like literally a couple percent. And your protein will go up, by the way. Your protein will go up, okay? If you feel like it's going to make a difference for you, or maybe you just like protein, go ahead. But it's not necessary. All right, is there anything you'd like me to cover in this week's video series? I consume about 40% of my daily fat macros, 18% of my daily protein macros, and 9% of my daily carb intake during my breakfast. My breakfast is usually high in fat because of the mix of pumpkin seeds, cashews, sunflower seeds. Should I be increasing my carb intake at breakfast to better my energy throughout the day? Well, no. I mean, listen, if you're getting a lot of calories in the morning, which sounds like you are, I mean, if you're getting almost half your fat, you're going to get some energy from that, okay? So it's not like this meal is low in calories, so you should be okay. You don't have to add in more carbs to this, okay? And in fact, if you are having a meal that's higher in fat, then I probably would do less carbs, right? Just to kind of get those. I mean, ideally, you would do, an equal amount of fat, carbohydrates, and protein, broken up throughout the day, right? But if you are getting more fat, for your first meal, in this case, then I would do less carbs because, it's, you're probably going to be really full, right? And there's no need to just pack in a bunch of food early in the day. You're better to spread it out. Your energy will be better if you spread it out. So the fact that you're putting in a large percentage of your fat in the morning, then yeah, I would reduce your carbohydrates, okay? Okay, let's see here. What else do we have? Name something specific you can improve on for the following week. Sleep at least 7 hours every night, currently averaging 6 hours and 40 minutes. Okay, well, yeah, let's get in an extra 20 minutes. It can make a big difference. I personally, I need a lot of sleep. On the weekend, I had a day where I slept like a lot. I slept like 14 or 15 hours, which is really, like, I never do that. So I must have been really, really tired. I know I was really tired. For me, if I sleep like 5 or 6 hours a night, then I'm just, especially if I do a couple days, like, 3 or 4 days, like 3 or 4 days of that in a row, I get super tired. 6 hours and 40 minutes, yeah, it's a bit low. Again, this depends on the person. This depends on the quality of the sleep as well. I would try to get at least 7 hours a night. For me personally, I think I'd probably do really well with 7.5 to 8. Sleep is really, really important, by the way. Like, it's so important, and it seems like it's becoming more and more important, even just for minimizing your risk of a lot of these neurological diseases, right? These things like dementia and Alzheimer's, etc. Right? So get your sleep. Get your sleep. Name something specific you need help with. My lower back hurts when I do the windmill exercise during Zoom class. What can I do to not have a sore back? I'm assuming your back is, like, when you say sore, you mean it's like, is it like that fatiguing sore, like it's being used a lot? I don't even know what the windmill exercise is, to be honest with you. I would suggest if it's bothering you doing it, I would let Martina know and see what she says. I'd have to seriously look it up and see what that is. I'd probably avoid doing it though if it's bothering your lower back. Okay, just as a simple rebuttal to your question here, I'd probably just avoid it. Is there anything you'd like me to cover in this week's video series? Do I need to pay attention to how many calories I'm burning for each workout? No, you do not. Work hard session? No, you do not. In order to achieve the fat loss goals? No, you do not. Just don't worry about that, okay? Even if your watch or whatever tells you how much you're burning, it doesn't actually know how much you're burning. It's just an estimate. I noticed I burn way more calories during my run than resistance workouts. Yes, you will burn more during your cardio workouts in general. You should. You're doing cardio, you're going to burn more calories. Okay? Weights are better for, well, there's lots of things that weights are good for, but one of the things you can think about when it comes to resistance training is thinking about long-term fat loss, right? Keeping your metabolic rate higher, right? Among other things, right? Keeping hormone levels more regulated, whether we're talking about insulin or estrogen or guys, testosterone, or even women as well. Okay, there's lots of things you're going to get specifically from training. But when it comes to, if we're talking about calorie burning, yes, you're going to use more energy to go for your run. Typically speaking, obviously, right? I mean, like, obviously, if you do a 2-hour leg workout and you go for a 20-minute run, you're going to burn more in that 2-hour leg workout. But generally speaking, right, you're going to burn more energy, you're going to burn more calories going for a run, If you run for 45 minutes versus, say, doing 45 minutes of weights, you're going to burn more calories. Okay? Yes. So just think of it. They each have their roles and their specificity and their, their pros and cons, right? But no, you do not have to pay attention to how much you're burning in each workout. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about it. Just do it and do it hard, okay? Go hard. Okay, let's get the message of the day. Message of the day is personal responsibility is the key to solving your problems. You got problems? Just take responsibility for them. That's the first step. Listen, I realize that it's not something you really want to hear, but it's true. It's the hard truth. Okay, generally speaking, if you want to solve your problems, just take responsibility for them. Even if you didn't actually do them yourself, you always have to ask yourself, well, how could have I avoided this, or how could have I made this situation different for myself? What could have I changed? Is there anything I could have done? Right? Maybe not in every single circumstance in life, but for most, right? Personal responsibility is the key to solving your problems. In the case of this challenge, personal responsibility is really the cornerstone of this, right? I mean, it's just planning and preparing. I'm not saying it's easy. Not saying you have plenty of time in your day. Not saying you don't have kids. Not saying you're not sleep deprived. I'm not saying any of this. I'm just saying that you got to find a way. You got to find a way, and when you find that way and you do it, you will see the results will come. Okay? Take personal responsibility and for whatever it is in your life that you are having problems with, and I guarantee you, you will solve them. You'll be much happier. And you'll have control. The moment you say that you don't have any responsibility, you don't have any control, you just, you're hopeless, right? It actually makes the situation worse. Okay. Positive energy, positive vibes. Believe in yourself. For the love of God, give some gratitude. I'll talk to you all very soon. See you guys.